Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Judith and I'm here to show you on how I made this beautiful Ankara dress with remaining fabrics I used earlier. So stay tuned and watch. So today's measurement, I'm going to be using the bust of 45, waist 40, half length 19 and a half, gown length 46, back 18, hips 48 and a half, and so on. So for my folding, to fold, I'll fold the largest measurement of my upper body, and that's my bust, because my bust is 45. I'll divide by 4 plus my allowance. So here I use 45 divided by 4 is 11.25 plus 3 inches allowance. I'm using 3 inches allowance because I'm not making use of a pattern paper. So if you're making use of a pattern paper, you should add allowance of your choice, 2 at most. But since I'm not making use of a pattern paper, I'm going to use 3 inches, and that will serve for my darts and every other trimming I need to do. So I just chalked out my starting point, and I'm going to chalk my half length now, which is 19 and a half. So I'll just do that all through. Mind you, this tutorial is strictly freehand. There's no pattern papers, no ruler, etc. So for my neckline, I'm going to use 3.5 inches for my neck width, and then 3 inches for my neck depth. So I'm going to connect the lines and then draw a smooth curve to form my neckline. And for the further depth, I went in by 5 inches. Shoulder length 4 inches, and for my armhole I made use of 8 inches. So I will come out by 1.5 inch to form my armhole curve. Soon I'll do a tutorial on how to make a standard basic bodice. So this is just a sketch on a fabric. So I chalked out my bust and added my allowance. So I'll do same for the waist. My waist is 40 inches divided by 4 is 10 inches plus 3 inches allowance. 3 inches allowance are for my darts, and for the trimming I'll do in the course of the sewing, since I didn't use a pattern paper. So after chalking, I'm just going to cut. Alright, so I'm going to use the same pattern I used for the front. I use it for the back, but at the back I'm going to add the zipper allowance, and in this tutorial I used 1.5 zipper allowance, so I'm just going to cut all through. And then for the neck depths, I went in by 2 inches, then I create a smooth curve there and just cut out. Then I split the back into 2. So right now I want to cut the front part of the skirt. So I'm going to chalk out my starting points. After doing that, remember I said When you want to fold your fabric, you fold with the highest measurement you have for both the upper bodice and the lower bodice. So for my lower bodice, the highest measurement is my hip, which is 48 and a half. So I'm going to divide that by 4, divide it by 4, add my 3 inches allowance. So whatever I get, that's what I'm going to use to fold my fabric. So right now I'm just going to chalk out my gown length. Remember I said my gown length is 46 inches, so I'm going to add net to the down part of the gown. So I'm going to chalk out 40 inches, then the 6 inches, the remaining 6 inches will be for the neck. So now I'm chalking out my waist, which is 10 inches, then my add 3 inches allowance, then I came down by 8 inches. So on that line I drew, I'm going to chalk out my hip measurements, add my 3 inches allowance, and then I connect my lines. So to get that fitted effect, so I'm going to subtract 1.5, that's 1.5 inches on the lower part of my gown, then half inches on the upper part towards my hip line. Repeat same towards the down parts, then connect the lines. Alright, make sure you connect well. I'm not using a ruler or a curve, so I'll make sure my lines are straight, and it will give me the same thing a ruler and a curve would give me. So I'm just going to cut right now, then use the same pattern for my back. So yeah, I found out that my fabric wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, guys, so I had to cut them separately. This is me cutting the back separately. So I'm cutting the first back, adding the zip allowance of 1.5 inch. So I'm just going to cut, then repeat same process for the second back. I had to join to get what I want. So yeah, I made a mistake. Please don't be like me, I was distracted. I don't know what we're gisting about, but somehow it was helping because I was so tired. So I cut the wrong side facing the right side. You see the outcome. It was there I knew that I fucked up. So I just had to maneuver to correct myself. So I'm going to trim out again. Cutting on your main fabric without pattern, you can make mistake. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, except if you're very experienced. That's when you don't make mistake. But if you're a beginner and you want to know how to sew best correctly and it will fit well, please learn to use pattern papers. It helps a lot because whatever mistake you're going to make, you could as well correct before going to your fabric. So yeah, I'm just going to join this second piece together so I can get my second back piece. I already joined it off camera, so I'm just cutting. Yeah, I'm done cutting, so I'll go ahead and cut the lining for this dress. So I went ahead to change the neckline of this dress. I wasn't liking the neckline I used before, so in my next tutorial I'm going to show you on how to cut different necklines with pattern papers. So I went ahead to cut the sleeves. So my sleeve measurement, I used 21 inches. Mind you, I was managing this net also. The fabric was not enough for me and I need to wear this dress like ASAP. So I made do with what I had. I measured my wrist measurement being 4 inches, so I added 1 inch allowance. So I just connected the lines. So you can see me chalking the table. It shows I'm going to add at least 2 inches allowance from the pieces of this net to get a perfect armhole. So using the measurement of my rigs, I use it in cutting. I just trace out the flay part of this gown and then I proceed to the sewing machine. If you've watched to this part, that means you like what I'm doing and you also love the process. Please like and subscribe to my channel so you could get to see more of these. So I'm just going to join the fabric and the lining together, then turn, then I'm going to iron. So yeah, I wanted to create um a design with the remaining pieces I got from the net. I didn't want to throw that away, so this was not planned at all. So I decided to create a rose out of the pieces I was able to get. So this was how I made the rose. Please just watch the video, you will get everything I'm doing. This is a very simple way to make rose. This is like the easiest ways to make a rose flower. There are many ways you can make a rose flower and I could do that. That will be another tutorial also. Rose flower. So I'm just going to tie my knot until it's tight and I'm sure that it is not going to lose. So I'm going to tack it on the dress and just form like a V shape on it. So this is the outcome. I'm going to repeat the same on the other side and voila, look at this guys, is this not so beautiful?